Hello, it is Thursday, March 27th, 2025, week 5, going into week 5 of my recovery, and it's been a good week. I met a lot of milestones this week. I was finally able to wash my hair independently, like able to raise my arms over my head, just enough to do that. Still a lot of restricted movement, limited mobility in my upper arm. So I'll be talking with my breast surgeon next week during a follow-up about physical therapy and or occupational therapy to help restore my range of motion. I also had several appointments yesterday. I had my CAT scan and bone scan done, as well as my third fill of my tissue expanders. I'll be getting the results from the CAT scan and bone scan in the next few days or so. And, whatever those results are, we'll roll with it, and it'll be reflected in my treatment plan, and we'll move forward. I was also able to drive for the first time this week since surgery, and I started earlier this week just kind of driving around my neighborhood, and then yesterday I was able to drive myself to and from my doctor's appointments. So regaining my independence has been really empowering and really has aided in my healing journey. I also went on my first outing beyond my neighborhood over the weekend. Had a chance to spend a little time in Harvard Square with my kids and cousin, and seeing the sights, walking, getting my steps in, taking those deep breaths, and getting fresh air so that I can continue the recovery process. Someone was telling me how their doctor had told them, movement is medicine. And so getting more movement has been, it really has been medicine for me. I also have a visit with my home health nurse today. After our last visit, everything was looking really well, incisions healing really well. My lung capacity has increased and improved a lot. And so she said if all goes well during our home health visit today, I may be discharged from home health, which is great. Next week, I have several appointments coming up. It's a little bit of a marathon of appointments, kind of like yesterday. I was literally in appointments all day yesterday from 9 to 5, so it was like a full-time job. And I've heard people describing cancer treatment as feeling like a full-time job. And so, I'm learning to accept that as kind of my new reality in terms of managing appointments, managing treatment. So next week's appointments will be with my my medical oncologist, as well as follow up with my breast surgeon. And then I also have the second opinion appointments with a medical oncologist and radiologist at Dana-Farber. So I'm looking forward to that. And, feeling a lot better. No pain these days, and far less discomfort, mainly just soreness and a little tightness across the chest, some limited range of motion, but I know I'm getting that back, and I'm just grateful for this journey. During Bible study this week, I had mentioned we were talking about patience and waiting as we're going through some of our seasons in life, and I talked about the privilege of waiting, the privilege of having this patience. Tribulation worketh patience, and patience experience, and experience hope is one of my favorite scriptures. And so I've been going through this journey and learning to not only be patient, but to wait calmly with a positive attitude, and continue trusting God and believing that everything will work out exactly the way it was intended to. I've also been helping my children process the journey along with me, because not only is this impacting me, but it's also impacting them. And they're each kind of trying to process this in their own ways. And I'm really grateful that we live in an area where there's a lot of mental health support available. And so we're taking full advantage of that, both for counseling and therapy and, social work, social services that are available. It's brought our family closer together, and it's making us stronger and more resilient. I have 3 graduates, and so as we're preparing for their graduations coming up in May and June of this year, I've been saying it's triple for our trouble, and we're grateful to have this opportunity to celebrate the good things along with the journey.